Huh? You
How
talking
did
to
this
me?
come across your desk? Like, how did this come through an email? Like, life estate sale? Like, this come from
No,
a,
no, no. Like I said, I mailed a letter to the court-appointed custodian, a court-appointed receiver.
okay.
Yeah.
This guy he was given the job. He does this. He's a professional, like liquidator, basically.
Gotcha.
He gets assets and sells them. So he had a note, and I mailed to him, and he calls me up and says, "Hey, this note is gone, but I have a property. Would you be interested in bidding on it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll bid on anything real estate related. Whether it's a property or
Yeah,
a note
of
or
course.
you know, mobile home, whatever.
So you and two other guys at the auction, were the other two guys interested at all, or did they not know what it
Well,
was?
we bid it up, and we
Did you?
started off. I did the opening bid of $1,000,
Wow.
and then somebody else says, "Okay, $1,500," and the other guy says $1,800, and then it kept going up and up and up until we got to 40,700 was my last bid, and everybody else dropped out. They didn't go any higher.
How many other properties were there for sale at the auction?
Just this one.
Okay.
Really? Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Hey, guys, drop your comments below if you've ever dealt with it. I've never seen it. It's pretty interesting. I'm sure it's rare, but that's cool.
Very interesting.
I know we have a bunch of more slides. Gerald, do you want me to skip it through anything at all?
Well, you can brief. This is the one where I mailed the guy the letter, and 5 years later we bought the deal. This is the one where you can scroll down a little bit. This is in the middle of rehab. Go back to that picture. See that back unit was an addition to the property. The front part is the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and the back part is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
Oh.
And so we ended up splitting it. We closed off the doorway in between and put a new door in the back, and we now rent this out as like a duplex. So we get $3,000 on the front unit and $2,000 on the back unit.
Oh, nice.
So you can go down the next slide. Just touch the numbers real quick. I've already pretty much discussed this part. Go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is the numbers on that. We spent a lot on rehab. The house was old and dilapidated, built in the 50s, but it's something that we're going to hang on to for the rest of our life. I think, it's a great rental property, makes great cash flow. And today it's worth probably $900,000.
Yeah.
You bought for 70.
Oh, that's awesome.
You put 90 into this and then rehab for this much money. And then I guess you paid off the first?
No, I'm making payments on the first.
Oh, okay.
It's subject to. We just take over the payments on, and this is the one that's fixed at 2%. That loan will never go up. It's always going to be $1,600 a month for the next 30 years.
Fantastic.
Boy, oh boy, that's a nice purchase right there.
Yeah.
Well done.
And this just shows the amortization. I always create an amortization schedule. So as of 5/1/20, the balance was 396. If I looked at it, it would probably be 375 or something like that.
Right.
But the nice thing,
this is a good opportunity to show people what this looks like. What does this look like for those who may be newer? What do these columns mean and why they change, right? So do you want to quickly share a little bit about that? What do the columns mean? Why do these two change when everything else stays the same kind of thing?
Yeah, this is an amortization schedule, and this is an Excel spreadsheet that we built, and you can crunch the numbers. The spreadsheet will do it for you. It'll break down the payments. If you amortize whatever the starting balance was, 493 over, I think the term was 40 years on this one.
It was 35 according to here.
35, yeah, 35 years, so 420 months, and it'll break down the payments by principal and interest, and it'll show the new balance.
Yep.
So that's the date of the payment due. So this date payment was due 5/1/20. It's the 109th payment in that amortization schedule.
Sure.
And the payment amount is not going to change. That's always going to be 1634.44 because it's a fixed rate loan. And the interest and principal are going to continue to change. Every month will be slightly different, and to where the balance goes down. But one thing you have to really look at the amount of principal we're paying down every month.
Yeah.
almost $1,000. I think right now it's over $1,000 of
Yeah, most
principal reduction. So the portion going to interest is getting smaller and smaller as the loan matures.
Sure. And that's why a lot of times the beginning of the loan is very valuable because of all the interest and the interest at the beginning, at the end point is the principal's gone. So I know we have a bunch more slides. Do you want me to skip to a particular property or a particular slide before?
It doesn't matter. We can, wherever the conversation goes, I know you guys are running out of time.
So let's back up for a second, right? You bought a lot of seconds. What are some of the things you screwed up on? What are some mistakes you've made that you say, crap?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is like on that Oceanside property that we held it for 7 years. The lady was trying to get a loan modification on the first, which would have dropped her rate from like 6% to 4% probably. And I think I pulled the trigger a little bit too quick on the foreclosure. If I'd have let her go ahead and get her loan modification done, and then foreclose on it, I would have had a lower monthly payment. But then she might have paid me off too, anyhow. So, I think as far as
how about due diligence? Have you ever made, a mistake that you've learned from that you say, listen, I can't do that again?
Absolutely. Sometimes we get a pool of 100 loans that they want us to give them a price on. And you can't, when you're looking at 100 loans, you can't dig deep into every single loan.
Nope.
So we plug in a number to each loan. We might have taken a look at bankruptcy or at the credit report, different things that we look at, and then we wing it. We have to provide a number within 7 days or whatever it is, and we can't take 2 months to go through the tape. So, we could have done better due diligence, I think. If you go back to things to watch out for in my slides, let me just scroll up. I got that up right now. Unscrupulous note sellers, be real careful. I've got one guy that I bought notes from 5 years ago that still owes me like $30,000, and it's just not worth getting an attorney and trying to go after him. I think we spent $1 million on a deal, and so he owes me like 3%. He's still, it's a small amount of money. But ask around, make sure you know reputations from people. Because I got a friend that wired off $1 million to buy some loans, and he's still fighting them in court. He's never gotten his loans. So, when you're buying notes, there's no escrow. It's not like buying a house where you open escrow or, over at this local title office. You're trusting people to deliver what you're buying. And, it doesn't always happen. I think I had something on my list about low yield monthly payments. So we bought a note in close to here, Bellflower, California, and the monthly payment was fixed at like $325 a month. And we paid $90,000 for a note where the balance was like $150,000. And my partner said, he thought we were going to get the house. And I said, hey, we might not get the house. He said, that's okay, I'll take the chance. And technically those guys could have paid us $300 a month, which is $3,600 a year on a $90,000 investment. So if you just do a cash on cash, $3,600 divided by $90,000 is 4% interest. The yield would be 4%.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they ended up defaulting. I mean, they paid us for a while at $300 a month.
Yeah.
But then they ended up defaulting, and we took it to foreclosure, and somebody else, it went to third party. Somebody bought it at the trustee sale, and we ended up just getting cashed out. But, be careful. Don't always assume that you're going to get the house back. That's my whole point of saying that, is don't always assume you're going to get the house back. Right. A lot of times they'll just make payments, even though you think it's unlikely. They'll get the payments made,
or they'll reinstate when you thought there's no way they're going to reinstate that.
Yes.
And they do, and you're going, oh shoot.
Exactly.
It's the assumption that, what's going to happen before it happens. I think a lot of people make the mistake and assume things are going to happen based on the fact that what they know of.
Yeah. And, one of the things that we've done is we have good systems. We use a CRM called ACT, and all of our notes are in ACT, all of our histories, every phone call we make, every letter we send out, it's all plugged into ACT. And we have a small office. We have 5 people in the office, myself, my wife, and 3 others. So we have an asset manager, an admin assistant, and a bookkeeper, a full-time bookkeeper that does a few other things. I mean, she only works about 25 hours a week, but she's still considered, pretty much full-time.